Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Becca and today I'm going to be talking about something a little different than usual. It is my top tips on how to get 1,000 subscribers as a vlogger. When I first started this journey a while back, I felt like it was kind of hard to find this information specifically for vloggers. So here we are. I started my channel back in February of 2021 and within 8 months I somehow managed to get 2,000 subscribers, which blows my mind and it makes me so happy. I am no expert at this. I'm just sharing what I have learned through both experience and through trying to study on how to do YouTube well. I'm just gonna take you through my day because I have things to do, but let's jump right in. My first tip is that this is a great time to experiment. So as a new vlogger, you're not gonna know what the heck you're doing, which is fine. I put out my first videos and they are so cringy. I'm so awkward. The audio and visual of it is terrible and it didn't matter because I just wanted to start my journey. So I just filmed my first video and put it up there. And honestly, I didn't expect anybody to ever watch it. With YouTube, you definitely learn and grow as you go. And that's just really important to remember. So don't feel constricted to what you start out as and experiment with new ideas and different filming techniques. And there's just so much to learn in this whole process. So definitely keep that in mind. Also, I've definitely noticed that many channels change and evolve over time because that is how life works. Bottom line, feel free to experiment and figure out what works for you. Don't mind me just making oat milk right now. This may sound counterintuitive, but don't watch too much YouTube. So you want to have really original content because that's what a vlog is. It's your journey and your life, and you can't just sit there and copy other people because that doesn't make any sense. So I have a handful of channels that I really enjoy watching, and other than that, I'm not on YouTube very much. You do want to have some idea of what's going on to be able to jump on some trends every once in a while or whatever. But yeah, be original, be yourself. So the next tip that I have is consistency. So it's really important to be consistent and you just kind of have to find what works for you. So some people will post twice a week, some people will only post twice a month. For me personally, I find that once a week works really well. So I post every single Thursday and it's kind of really nice because it helps hold you accountable and gives you a firm deadline. And yeah, it's just what your audience comes to expect, and that's it. Just be consistent. It's all about the pace that you can do to make good quality content. So if you're making stuff up that isn't good and you're trying to post twice a week, cut it back. My next tip is definitely about video editing. It actually takes up so much time. It's the biggest chunk of time that goes into making any sort of video. And I got really lucky because my husband Billy really likes video editing. But you really have to study up on it. And one of our things that we decided from the beginning was that we wanted to try to learn one new thing with each video that came out. And that has helped us grow and learn so much. But it definitely takes time. So your first video is not going to be very well edited. But just take it one video at a time, keep trying to learn, and use all the free resources on the internet that are out there because there's a ton. Ellie the elephant! Oh! Hello! How are you today? Oh, kisses! Mwah. Another really daunting thing about editing is that a lot of times we'll have an hour of footage that we somehow manage to trim down to 15 minutes. I have something very exciting that I'm going to go pick up. I did a click and collect, so you'll have to wait and see what it is. But the next tip that I have is to study up on the algorithm. So I say this, but my first thing that I'm going to say about it is don't sit there and obsess about it or try to change who you are or what your content is to form yourself around the algorithm. But it is important to know about it and how it works, and you need to learn about SEO and how your titles and description really can work in your favor if you play the algorithm game. So definitely look into that. And SEO, in case you don't know yet, is search engine optimization. And that's basically just YouTube's way of getting your content to the people that want to see it. So if your title and description talk all about your korma curry that you're making, then when somebody searches for korma curry in the YouTube search box, then YouTube will know to put your video in front of those people. So that's all it is, basically. But it's also important to know about it for certain types of trends that you can jump on or anything like that. Another thing to note with this is thumbnails and how incredibly important they are. So that is what makes a person actually click on your video. So you want a very clean and simple but eye-catching thumbnail that really grabs people's attention. So you want the words to be very readable, and it's really important to spend some good quality time on your thumbnails. Another sort of trick with SEO and stuff like that is clickbait. Now, you know the examples that are over the top and terrible, so don't do that. But you do want to have some sort of like intrigue, I guess. But the most important thing is to make sure that you follow up with what you're saying is in your clickbaity title or whatever. So don't leave people hanging, because that's the worst thing that you can do. The last thing I'm going to say about this is that there are so many fantastic resources on YouTube or on the internet that you can go and read up on. Catherine Manning on YouTube has really great videos. I watched her quite a bit in the beginning when I was trying to learn about everything. So yeah, go check some people out, and let's go to the store now. Okay, I'm back from the store, and now I'm the proud owner of a label maker. Okay, so the next tip is all about publishing good quality content. So you want really good visual and audio. And to be honest, we still completely just shoot on our iPhones. We have gotten in trouble with this a few times because the audio levels aren't very good, and that is the number one thing that people will not watch, is a video with bad audio. So we need to invest in some microphones. That is like the next step that I'm going to do on our YouTube journey. But don't feel like you need to go out and spend a bunch of money on super high-tech cameras and microphones and stuff. Just start with what you have. And as you make money, then that's typically a good sign that you should start investing in better equipment. But another quick note about shooting on iPhones is just the settings that we use. So we always shoot in 60 FPS because it makes the transitions a lot smoother, and just on HD. So not on 4K because that fills up your storage so fast. All right, let's get inside. Such a quick trip. This is like the splurgiest thing I've bought in a long time. I just really want an organized pantry. The car to bed transition never works out very well, does it? Next is you want to try to build a community and really develop friendships and relationships with your viewers. So it's tempting once you reach the 1,000 subscribers point to try to put in a ton of ads and everything, but that is just going to turn... That's just going to turn your viewers off, and if you don't have any viewers, then you're not going to be making any money anyways. So I typically don't like to put any kind of mid-roll ads in unless it's a very long video, and let's be real, you're not going to make much money on YouTube anyways. It comes from sponsorships, and I don't even have any sponsorships yet because I haven't found any that I have fallen in love with, and I'm very picky about who I would even want to work with. So I've already been approached by a lot of random companies, like beauty companies and like greens, powder, supplements, and those are not things that I use. I don't even wear makeup or use any kind of supplements like that, and so of course I'm never going to try to advertise to my followers and viewers that I'm trying to build a relationship with and build trust with. Yeah, I'm not going to peddle them garbage. To sum up this point, I guess, is just be here for the right reasons. Like, yes, you can make money on the side of it, but that shouldn't be the sole reason that you're making videos, because why would anybody want to watch that? All right, it's time to make some lunch. All right, So the next tip is to create content that is worth coming back for. So the easiest way to do this is to create content that helps people. So like recipe videos are a good example. People will keep coming back to that. And another thing to do with that is creating evergreen videos. So again, with the recipe idea is you can create a recipe and that will stay relevant throughout time. Whereas if I make a New Zealand lockdown videos, then that will only stay relevant for a couple weeks, and then really there's not much reason to go back and watch that kind of video. The other reason that people will come back to your videos is for entertainment value, and that is a big reason that vloggers are watchable, is because it's just entertaining. It's really fun to watch people live their lives, especially if they have some unique thing about them, like they live in a really fancy house or they're good at interior design or anything like that. The last note about this topic is, well, it might sound a little bit mean, but nobody cares about you. Especially in the beginning. Nobody knows who you are, so nobody wants to invest their time into you until they get to know you and until they start to build a relationship with you. Nobody's gonna click on your videos. So that's where, in the beginning, it comes really in handy doing things that offer a lot of value, such as entertainment value or enriching and helping people with certain things. So doing a day in the life video in the beginning of your YouTube journey is probably not going to get many views because nobody knows you and they don't want to invest their time into you quite yet. It is always really nice though when people do actually watch your videos in the beginning. It means a lot, and then it's also really great because those beginning people that comment and watch your videos from the beginning, you build such a relationship with them over time, and it's really cool. So. Mm-hmm. One day this will all be organized. Come here. Hey, do you want to go on a walk? Come get your shoes and socks on. You want to go on a walk? Okay. Next tip is to have a few things of interest, but not too terribly many. So vlogging is a niche of its own, but if you have a ton of really random things, then nobody is going to be able to connect with you, because typically people latch onto somebody for a certain reason. For example, if they're vegan, then a lot of vegan people will start following you because they have that in common. So if you are a car maintenance person and you start randomly posting about cake decorating and grocery hauls, that's going to make people actually unsubscribe from you. It's important to be able to have some flexibility with yourself and definitely take risks and see what works for you. And you can be random every once in a while, but try to be consistent somewhat. So, and it is important to reach out and do the random things every once in a while because that helps broaden who your reach gets to. My three main things are moving to, living in, and traveling New Zealand, but also plant-based food and parenthood, just because those are the three main things going on in my life, and it all fits under the umbrella of our life and vlogging, so it all makes sense. But yeah, try not to be too random, but it is fun to take risks every once in a while. I mean, an example that I did of this kind of recently is I did a plastics video and how much I hate it and what some good plastic swaps are. And that is kind of random for my channel, but it's something that I'm passionate about and I think it works well with my overall life and theme, I guess. So I went ahead and did it. And also it's kind of really helpful if you jump on trends every once in a while. So I did that for Plastic Free July, and you know, it's just a fun thing that helps you branch out, and it also helps get new viewers, so, you know. And then I guess my number one and final tip here is that you need to be very authentic. Definitely try to show your personality, and this is always something I'm trying to work on because talking to a camera is not natural and it's not very easy for most people, but it's important to show both the awesome parts of your life and what is not going so well, or some of the negative side of it. It's important to just show the whole overall journey of it all, because that's what people are here for. They're here for the story. We started this whole YouTube thing mainly as a way of documenting our journey from moving from the US to New Zealand, and it just kind of took off a little bit, and it's something that we still really enjoy doing, and so yeah, we're just gonna keep on going with it as long as we're having fun. And that is bottom line, like what you should be doing is having fun with it all. Now that I have made this long list of tips on how to do well on YouTube, just know that we have broken like every single one of them. And it's just all about experimenting for yourself, finding out what works for you, and having a good time. Those are all my tips. Actually, there's a secret one. What are you doing? Where are you going? My final tip for you guys is just to start, because everything just takes time and you grow and learn so much by doing. So start today. It doesn't matter how crappy it is, just put it out there and get going. Anyways, those are all the tips that I have, and I wish you well on your journey, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.